Shalom, shalom. I'm your brother Kaya from GMS Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. Before I get started, I just want to talk about this. If you start to understand when we begin, to go into the scriptures and whatnot, we always say, of course, we give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai. We go into the speckled bird, and a lot of you do not understand who the speckled bird is and what that means. You know, we've constantly told you this has nothing to do with skin color. Not at all. That's why the book of John, chapter 7, verse 24 tells us, not to judge according to outside appearance. Why is that? Because you have to have the understanding that Israelites look like the heathens. We look like all nations of people. And the reasons why we look like all nations of people is because of how you say that? The scattering, the disperse. Now, of course, you should have logic and understanding. If you spread Jake all around the world with all different nationalities, heathens of women and whatnot, what's going to end up happening? Chances are we're going to go ahead and start having children and whatnot with these heathen women, with these other nationality of women, and our children may come out looking like them. There was also too, with that being said, I was watching this girl on TikTok and she irritated me. She talked about, one of them head wrap, Yah Israelite women talking about, that Yahweh Bashar said that we couldn't mix with the heathen, but didn't go into the scriptures that actually said why. What was the reason because of it? What was the end result? It was because we didn't supposed to mix with the heathen women because the women would teach what? Their beliefs to the children. That was the major things, because if that was the case, if Yahweh Shema Shai was going to be upset with us going into heathen women and whatnot, then what about Moses when he married Zipporah? What about Solomon? Amongst many men in the Bible, they mess with heathen women. Yahweh Shema Shai didn't kill any of them for messing with heathen women, that I can recall, because of their skin color or whatever. But the major thing with them is what? That they would teach the children, about false gods. That was the whole problem in the nutshell. But anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about. Going back into the speckled bird, right? And before we go ahead and start, I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachach, Of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us this truth and rule well. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. Also want to say shalom to the speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. Also want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim out there. Now, going back into it, this is going to be a very quick hit. This lesson is not going to go very long. But, when we out preaching and we meet people and whatnot, we're not judging according to outside appearance. Not every so-called white person that has that blood shows forth through the skin is an Edomite. And the reason why we say this is because we understand the diaspora. We understand the scattering. We understand even now that there are times that Jake may lay up with a so-called white woman, and the children may come out looking like their mom. But see, a lot of you don't understand we are the seed of our father. Matter of fact, let me get that. Bear with me, Israel. Let me see. Where is that at? That's in the book of Numbers. Bear with me. Stand by. This is Numbers chapter 1. What is that? 18? Give you understanding. The seed of the fathers, not by what your mama. That's what the Ews over there say. Oh, it's by your mom. It's by your mom's side. No, it's not. It's by your father. You are whatever your father is. Now, if your father is an Edomite, then you are an Edomite. If your father is out of the 12 tribes of Israel, then you're an Israelite. But you could look like another nation on the outside appearance. This is Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees. You know what a pedigree is? After their families by the house of their fathers. So you are the seed of your father. Now, I should not have to go into how sex works and where the sperm comes from, and it enters into the egg of a woman and all of that. Most of you should know that already by now, I'm quite sure, hopefully. You know how that works. The man carries the seed. So whatever comes out of the woman is that man. That's his pedigree. That's his lineage, girl or boy. Yes, the child may take on traits of the mother, eye color, hair color, skin tone, whatever. You know, that's why I was saying earlier, when we go into the speckled bird, have that understanding what that's going into. There are many of our people that look like the nations. So when you go back to Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18, you have the understanding what this is going into. When we tell you, you are the seed of your father, not your mother. Now, if you're a woman and your mom raised you and all that, you are still the seed of your father. You took on the look of your mother. And, you know, and a lot of times that's a blessing. Because, you know, there's some women out here that look like men in the face. And, whoa, a little rough. But that's okay, I guess. But anyway, going back to it, you know, but you are the seed of your father. And also going back into what we're going to start off with was John chapter 7 and verse 24. Right? That when we go out and we're preaching and going on and we speak to people, we ain't looking at their outside appearance. You know, we're looking at for who they are. John chapter, what is that? 7. This is John chapter 7, right? And verse, bear with me. Bear with me. I believe it's 24. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Let me do something real quick. Yeah, I'll hit that. Okay, so it's out of my way. John chapter 7. Hold on. Bear with me. I got to fix this thing I got here. Okay, here we go. This is John chapter 7 and verse 24. Not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment, right? Judge not according to the appearance. All right. Let's go to a meaning of words, which we all should know what the appearance means, but we're going to look it up anyway.
Strong's G 3799. Opsis. Opsis.
Opsis. Seeing, sight, face, countenance, the outward appearance. Look. What someone looks like, their outside appearance. We're not judging according to outside appearance. And there are many Israelite groups that do that. Oh, you're a white man. Oh, or you're this, or you're that. Before the person even gets to speak, to show who they are. Everybody shows who they actually are when the scriptures come out. You know when the Edomite, because they're going to buck up big time. When they start hearing the truth, oh boy, they ain't trying to hear it. You know when you're dealing with certain people, when the truth comes out, you see the spirit of them, you see how they act, how they respond, what they do. Or they get the itching and moving around and they can't take it. Man, that's just devils anyway, but nevertheless, right? Matter of fact, let's get another scripture, right? Let's go back. So now you understand John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Look beneath the surface so you can judge correctly in the NLT. See? Look beneath the surface so you can judge correctly. Look beneath the surface. Not what the surface is showing you on the outside appearance, because we have that. We have our brother Kabash, light-skinned brother, you know, of the fair complexion. He looked like a Caucasian, but that's a Jake standing there. An Israelite man standing right there. And everybody get tripped up when they see him. Oh, see, y'all got a white boy in y'all's congregation. You don't even know him, and you judging. Once again, people judging the brother on the outside appearance when the scriptures tell you not to do that. I think it was IUIC and probably another group that was looking at us for a while and seen him and lost it. Even what is this little weird ass dude that come around? Vocab, no class cologne, come by. Vocab, which I wonder where he at with all the stuff going on in the world. He ain't talking about these Christians and all this stuff that's going on and whatnot. He ducked off somewhere, but nevertheless, judging according to outside appearance, which we should not be doing. But people do it all the time. And even in these camps out here. Now, the men of GMS, of Great Millstone, we don't do that. We judge what? We judge correctly. We look beneath the surface so you can judge correctly. We don't judge according to what somebody looks like. We don't know who that person is. You know how many Arabs and different people pop up the camp? And then once they start saying certain things and they start going way off and they doing to me like, okay, yeah, this is who this is. We get it. Anyway, right? Let's see. Oh, we say the speckled bird. Matter of fact, I believe that's in Jeremiah. Let's go there. Jeremiah. Let me see. Was that Jeremiah 12 and 9? This is Jeremiah chapter 12 and 9, I believe. And the speckled bird. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come and devour. So we are what? Well, we can go over to the right. My chosen people act like speckled vultures, but okay. But that going into that speckled bird. What is a speckled bird? It's a bird that, matter of fact, hold on. Let me see something. I think I looked it up earlier. I looked up TN tomorrow. Let me see. Is it SP? Do I have it? SPECK. Thought I had it up here already. Speckled. I hope I spelled it right. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Just show me a picture? No. Okay. These are speckled birds where they can look like other birds. These just a speckled bird like this one. You see? Normally these birds here are normally all brown. But some of them come with the white splatter mark and some of them look like another bird. When it's not. See, look, you see how it's starting to change? But that's just, it's just a picture. Matter of fact, I did have another one. Let's see, I had looked up earlier and I put it up. Let me see. Tia and tomorrow. Now, see, at the same time, when you look at Tia and tomorrow, as I've mentioned before, they don't look. When you see these girls walking around, well, the first thing you're going to think, oh, that's an Ethiopian girl or that's a black woman, right? That's what everybody going to think when they see, oh, those are black women, so-called black women. Now, these are, actors back in the 90s and whatnot. It's what they look like. Now, watch. Now you go back to their father. Now, is it possible? Salakia, go back. Let me see. I looked this up earlier. Parents. Okay, here you go. This is their biological father. Now, is it possible? Now, it's possible that, because he's British and Irish. Now, if you understand, most of the Irish, a lot of the Irish are Jake. Even though he has that skin complexion. Now, the way these girls act, they act to me by watching them and how they talk and how they move, they act like Edomites, Idumeans, so-called white people. How they behave, how they act, their mannerisms, and whatnot. So once again, let me see. You would think, this when we talk about like speckled bird, or we tell you that we don't judge according to outside appearance, because it is a lot of our people can be Edomites, can be Idumeans, but have the color of what? Us. That's why we don't judge according to outside appearance. Matter of fact, there was a word I looked up, because under the speckled bird, the John 12:9, oh yeah, I'm going to get that. Let me see if I can get it. Bear with me. Stand by. Am I still? Let me see. Is it here? John 12:9. It was a word I was looking for. Let's see. Is it here? Let's see something. Matter of fact, what was that word I was looking for? Oh, let's go back here. Oh, did I look it up already?
Strong's H, 6641. Savoué.
Savoué. Now I'm looking for this word with the V. I don't know how to pronounce it. Very great. Matter of fact, when we look up this word, colored, the VARI, let's look up that real quick. And speckled, right? Let's look up that real quick. So you have an understanding. Let's go back. Let's go out. Let's go here. Let's go here. Boom. I think I had looked it up earlier, didn't I? I thought I did. V. What did I spell? VAR. What was it? VARIE. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Variegated.
Oh, variegated. Something marked with patches, streaks, or spots, or different colors. So a speckled bird. Multicolored, varicolored, dappled, molted. So once again, you start to have the understanding. Something marked with patches, streaks, or spots, or different colors. See? Which is a speckled bird. And a lot of Israelites fall under the speckled bird. And when we say in our intro, when we say the speckled bird, who we're talking about, we're talking to Israelites that look like the heathen nations. They look like Chinese. They look Japanese. They may look so-called Caucasian. They may look so-called Arab and whatnot. You know? So we do not judge according to outside appearance. So you start to have the understanding when we speak of the speckled bird and who we're speaking of. We're speaking to our people that look like another nation. Matter of fact, oh, there's a scripture I was thinking about. Oh, because I told you about the dispersed, the scattering, right? Why we take on traits of other people, right? Luke, is that what I want? There's two of them I want to get. This is Luke 21 and verse 24, because it talks about us being scattered, right? Let me see, 24. Here we go. This is Luke and the Yahweh Shai telling what's going to happen to the Israelites. This is Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down under the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's where we're at now. Now, those Gentiles are those heathens that are in our land that's calling themselves us. We don't have to go too far with that. Y'all already should know who we're talking about over there that's parting that land and everything else. Luke 21 and 24 from the top. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive. Who was led away captive? We were. All 12 tribes. We were all into slavery at one point in time. We were scattered. We were dispersed amongst the nations, amongst the heathens. We were killed, all kind of stuff. Those a lot of time, a lot of things that right now, a lot of those books are surfacing up, and it's beautiful. I wish I could get my hands on some. There's a lot of books going into you so-called Hispanics, you Mexicans, so-called Issachar. You know about what happened to y'all during y'all's diaspora. During y'all's scattering, and what happened to y'all when y'all was snatched up, raped, slaved, and everything else. Because a lot of you want to act like y'all the white man, and he's showing you today with them stormtroopers out there snatching y'all up too, and snatching your women out your car, and you know what they doing to them women, what they did to your kids. And Jake been telling you, man, but y'all don't listen. Y'all want to be Edomites so bad. And they showing you who you are. But once again, even with y'all, you know the things that y'all went through and whatnot. And, you know, you were scattered too. But anyway, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So we're going to be in our state until this time. And we're in that time now. What's going on? But it shows here that that Jerusalem, what would happen? That we will be led away captive into all nations. So what does that mean? We're going to look like all nations. As I said earlier, a lot of us may have went into the heathen women and whatnot, had children with them. Our sons and daughters may look like they mom, you know, but that don't make them heathens. It makes them Israelites that look like a heathen. Matter of fact, like we always use like Blake Griffin or what's the dude that plays for Golden State? I can't think of his name right now. But we always tell you, what if him or Blake Griffin got with a blue-eyed, blonde-haired, so-called white woman? What do you think his children are gonna look like, even though he a Jake? The brother that plays in Golden State, how light-skinned he is. Let him get with a blue-eyed, blonde-haired woman and have children. Those children most likely gonna come out very fair-skinned, and when they grow up, the likelihood they gonna look like so-called Caucasian kids or men when they are not. This is another reason why we do not judge according to outside appearance. So when you hear speak about the speckled bird, you understand who we're speaking of. Those that may look like the heathen but are not. Right? Understanding the diaspora, understanding the scattering. Even now, the so-called, which y'all call mixing and stuff, you know. Matter of fact, what is that? Deuteronomy goes into that too, I believe. Let's go there. What is that? Deuteronomy 4:27. And bear with me. Stand by. Take a little while to get there. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations. See again. And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. Deuteronomy 4 and 27 NLT. For the Lord will scatter you among the nations where only a few of you will survive. Now see, once again, we were scattered amongst the nations. All of us were scattered. Gadites included, so-called Native Americans. You know, and we can look Asian, we can look all type of ways. But remember one thing, you are the seed of your father. A lot of the Israelites that may look like Edomites and hearing this truth are waking up to knowing who they are. Then they looking in their family tree. Next thing they know, they find out that grandpa was a so-called black man. Like, wait a minute, I look like, who the heck I look like? Oh man, you look like your mama. You look like your grandma so-and-so. You look like your mom's. You know? Then you find out later on you a Jake. But once again, we don't judge according to outside appearance. But the time is coming when Yahweh Shai sends the angels. They gonna know exactly who's who. Matter of fact, let's get the last scripture, right? Because this is what's about to happen. This is Matthew chapter 13, the wheat and the tares. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 30. Here we go. Hold on, he said. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I want to read all this. Matter of fact, we can start at verse 27. I wonder if I just want to read in the NLT. I may read it in both. And it says, and this is Yahushua speaking, Matthew 13 and 27. The farmer's workers went to him and said, Sir, the field where you planted that good seed is full of weeds. Where did they come from? An enemy has done this. The farmer examined. Should we pull out the weeds, they asked. No, Salakia. Matthew 13 and 29. No, he replied. You'll uproot the wheat if you do. So now you may be wondering what's going on. The angels are asking basically Yahushua to separate. Should we separate these? Should we take out the weeds away? Take out the weeds away from the wheat. The wheat are the Israelites. The weeds are what? The heathens, the natural born heathens. And he said, what? No, he replied, you'll uproot the wheat if you do. Let both grow together until the harvest. Then I will tell the harvesters to sort out the weeds, tie them into bundles and burn them, and to put the wheat in the barn. Those are the angels. He's going to tell them to separate them. The day will come when Yahweh Shai will be like, look, separate them. You're going to, the angels come, they're going to yank out all the weeds away from the wheat. The wheat, the remnant will go into the barn house. I'll make it easy for you to go into the barn, go into, let's say, go into a chariot to be saved. But the wheat, not the wheat, but the weeds and all of that is going to be busheled up and burned. They're going to be pulled away. Let both grow together until the harvest. Then I will tell the harvesters to sort out the weeds, tie them into bundles, and burn them, and to put the wheat in the barn. So now you have understanding what this is going into. The time is going to come where the angels are going to do that. They're going to separate the wheat from the tares. You know, it is what it is. Even with us, you know, we're able to be able, when we preach and we meet someone, we're able to know what they are by their actions, by what they say, by what they do, and everything of that sort. And we're not, when someone steps up at the camp, we're not judging according to outside appearance. So now you have the understanding when we speak of the speckled bird, what a speckled bird is. You know, it's an Israelite. It can be an Israelite that looks like the heathen nation. You know, so nobody can stand and say, oh, see, y'all are prejudiced. You're prejudiced. You hate white people. What are you talking about? We keep telling people we don't judge according to outside appearance. It is what it is. But anyway, this wasn't meant to be very long. Hopefully you had an understanding. Hopefully you was edified. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash, and Shalom. To the next time.